to the regular public budget hearing meeting of April 26th for the West Milford Board of Education. Please either silence or turn off your cell phones. Notice where our emergency exits are. And I would like to have for those of you who aren't in attendance, Mr. Drew had to stay in the hospital another couple of weeks. So I just, best wishes for him. Flag salute, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, here he comes. Here he comes.
Oh, there he is.
All right. Oh, good. Now we can start.
Hope you're not late to school. In accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, a public notice of this meeting has been sent to board members, all district schools, the Herald News, the Trends, the Record, AIM West Milford, the Messenger, West Milford Town Hall, County Superintendent's Office, the Board Attorney, Cablevision of Warwick, and posted in the Administration Building. Copies of the board meeting calendar resolution were provided to all local media, Town Hall, Township, Library, and all district schools. Roll call, please, Mrs. Francisco.
Mr. Mealy, Mr. Dever.
Here.
Mr. Drew, Mrs. Dwyer,
Here.
Mr. Foodie,
Present.
Mr. Huber,
Here.
Ms. O'Brien,
Here.
Mr. Robbins.
Here.
Mrs. Schultz.
Here.
Do I have a volunteer to read, Jamie, would you read the executive session resolution, please?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the following resolution. Resolve that the board go into executive session at 9 p.m. for approximately 60 minutes for the purpose of discussing personnel negotiations and matters of attorney-client privilege. The executive session minutes will not be released until such time as the privilege or confidentiality is no longer applicable.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Mr. Rashika, Superintendent's report, please.
Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Matthew, who is just arrived, and I'm sure ready to go. Are you good? Okay, and then I'll follow up from you. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, Mr. Rajika. With the warm weather here, the fresh air, and the arrival of standardized testing, it is clear that spring is here.
It's a day in the park.
It's a day in the park.
Couldn't pass that one.
Yeah. As the school year wraps up into its fourth and final lap, our students are eagerly pressing on, determined to finish their race. This is the single busiest time of the school year, and I'm happy to report that student life at West Milford High School has never been more active. With spring sports in full swing, I would like to wish all of our teams good luck as they begin to enter the tournament stage, especially track and field, as they compete in the Big North Conference Championships tomorrow. Also, I'd like to wish our boys volleyball team good luck as they compete in their first ever varsity season in West Milford High School history. A big congratulations goes out to our Highlander band as they traveled all the way to England and Scotland to play abroad. This special experience takes place only once every 4 years, and it truly made a memorable experience for our seniors. I'm also pleased to report that the senior class's council is busy at work, finalizing the planning for senior prom. Packets are already available and bids go on sale in early May. In addition, they are still selling graduation signs and car magnets. Please support our seniors. Student Council and National Honor Society are planning a movie night fundraiser for Friday, May 13th. Star Wars The Force Awakens will be shown for a pre-sale price of only $3 or $5 at the door. All proceeds will benefit the Ronald McDonald Foundation. Furthermore, the Student Council is preparing for our 6th annual Highlander Day on Friday, May 20th, followed by our first annual Battle of the Bands in the Highlands competition later that evening. I would also like to applaud all students, staff, and parents who made the District Arts Festival a special evening. I had the opportunity to attend and can attest that the evening truly showcased the activism of West Milford students. Along similar lines, the district's open mic night was a very successful evening as our students displayed their talents. Congratulations to our History Bowl team, of which I had the pleasure of being a part of. We made it all the way to nationals in our first year of the school's competition. It was a very exciting experience in Washington, D.C. Speaking of nationals, I wanted to congratulate Indoor Percussion for winning the national tournament for their second year in a row. This was a perfect capstone to an undefeated season. Some news from the TV science class. Frankie Lagana placed first in the state for the Elks Club Anti-Drug Public Service Announcement Contest. Students Becca Kroniak and Justin Garrity collaborated to win second place behind him in the same video competition. The building trades class undertook an event of service working to construct a new historic Purple Martin's birdhouse for the Friends of Wallish Estates. It's great to see our community being so active. As we look towards the month of May and beyond, there are many events upcoming, such as AP exams, Honor Society inductions, and the War and Remembrance Day. That concludes my report for the month of April, and I hope that everybody has a nice week. Oh, also, sorry, that's a good point. The Cable-thon is coming up May 1st,
Sunday.
and Project Graduation needs all the support they can get.
Okay. There you go. Thank you, Matthew. Just want to welcome everybody here this evening, especially everybody wearing red. I guess Mrs. Francisco got the memo, but I didn't. So, but we'll be okay. But moving on, I'm glad that Matthew shared all the positive things that are going on in our schools, and we want to continue moving in that direction. With that being said, I just gave to our Board of Education members an invitation to the DUI enactment for the high school. Mr. Gorski and the administrators put together the program along with other teachers and staff members. And what's important to note here is that this is not something done in isolation. I'll go through the people involved in this in the different groups. We have the West Milford Police, we have the Fire Department, paramedics, Hackensack Flight Medical is coming in. They will be landing a helicopter. Atlantic Health, Stickle and Stolitz, Funeral Home will all be working together for this good cause. And the good cause here is that we want to show children, especially our seniors going to prom and, moving out of high school and thinking about all the fun they're going to have in college, what the consequences could be when you make the wrong decision. So, again, that will take place May 18th, and the rain date will be June 2nd. And for those of you who don't know, the prom is on June 3rd, right? Or June 2nd? June 2nd. It's Thursday, June 2nd, right? Okay. So that's what's happening. And just to back up what Matthew was talking about, the project graduation, which also takes place on graduation night, that telethon, cableton, will take place this Sunday. I believe it starts at 1 o'clock. You'll see it at 1 o'clock. Just tune into your cable station. We've, last year, made it possible for people to donate money via PayPal. There will be a link on our website for you to do that. So when you're watching the show, you see something special and you want to donate some money to the cause, please don't hesitate. Also, moving on here, I want you to know that we talk about character education and the things that we try to do within the schools to make things better. In some cases, we're very successful. In some cases, we need more work, and that's not a secret. We're all aware of that, and we try to do the best we can. But with that being said, we know that Maple Road this year was selected as a school of character for the state of New Jersey. And just last week, April 18th, we had the character.org representatives come in to visit the school. They met with administrators, including Mr. Novak and Dr. McQuaid and Mr. Kane, along with students and staff members. And their visit is basically to see what's going on in the school, see what programs we have to offer, and therefore possibly be recognized as a national school of character. So we want to wish them good luck with that. And certainly we're looking forward to celebrating down at Rider University on May 20th, a Friday, They will be honored for their receiving the award, and also they've been selected to demonstrate what's going on in their school so that other schools can take a look and hopefully put those programs within their districts and within their schools. So we're very proud of all of them, Mr. Kane and the crew over at Maple Road. The other thing I want you to know about, we talk about these bullying incidents and everything else, and it's something that we do take seriously. With that being said, the school board, we did approve purchasing what's called a My K-12 HIB manager system. Now, it's not just a system, because embedded within this program is professional development that will be available for staff members and for administrators, and just keeping up with the laws and following to make sure that we do everything in accordance with the law. The benefits of the actual software package, I'm going to read it to you because it's extensive. Benefits of the system are that it will ensure that our HIB investigation procedures are consistent, compliant, and centralized. Using the system will ensure consistent procedure by which HIB incidents are reported and determined. Additionally, My K-12 has been created in partnership with the New Jersey Principals and Supervisors Association, the Foundation of Educational Administration, and Legal One. Now, Legal One is based out of the Principals and Supervisors Organization, where we get all of our training for school law. So that's very important for us to know. And overall, this will ensure that our district's procedures are compliant with the latest state regulations. And lastly, the system provides a centralized location for HIB personnel to access important HIB investigation information. So therefore, we're looking at 8, 9 schools with our academy. Everybody will be able to follow the same plans. Everybody's information will be centrally located within the software package. Therefore, there should be no questions going back and forth to each other as to how are you doing this. We should all be on the same page, which has been one of my personal goals within the district, is to try to get all of our schools doing the same thing, and so we do not have discrepancies when we speak to parents about what's your policy on this. The policy is the policy that's written that we follow, and hopefully this will help with that, and we will move along from there. So also, looking at all the positive things that have gone on, we know that we have other things happening at the elementary school. We come to this wonderful time of the year when it's warm and the sun's out. And besides being time for park, it's also time for field day. So keep your eyes open for that. And please don't hesitate to visit the schools when your children are involved. That's all I have. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I have a question about the park testing. Do you have a number of refusals? What was it?
That's Dan's going to be getting into that in a minute.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, but I do have one more. I don't know.
Okay.
Did I mention the thing about the film
no.
festival? I didn't see that. I don't remember if you questioned last week about the Passaic County Film Festival.
Yes.
Okay, so our students did participate.
Okay.
And actually, one of our students, I'm going to give him a plug here, Frank Lagana, came in first place in Passaic County Film Festival for his documentary Risk of Life, and he came in second place for his public service announcement as well. So
Great.
we were there and did well.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Novak, education report, please.
And I am going to share with you the current refusal rate, but I'm going to wait to the end just to keep you in suspense, because I know you're dying. I know you're dying to hear it. So I did want to provide I'm going to try and keep it brief because we have our budget hearing for the evening. I wanted to just give a little update on Park. We got off to a great start last week. We were here Tuesday night for Mr. Rashika to talk about what a great start we had. Talk about the video that we put together, and I don't know if we ever got a counter on there to see how many people have actually looked at it. Hopefully not many. Me looking at it, I joined Weight Watchers after watching that video a number of times. Apparently the camera adds 65 pounds to the person on the left. But that being said, that video is available, for us if you still have questions. After talking about what a great start we had on Wednesday, the system across the state went down. So, very proud of our administrative staff, our students, and our teachers for really adapting and trying to make the best out of a bad situation. The system went down. We received word from the state at around 10:30 that they were going to be shutting it down from the hours of 1 to 4 p.m. on that Wednesday to do site maintenance, and everything was up and running again for the following Thursday. And one of the concerns we had coming, we spoke about this, we were concerned now that, we had great success in increasing our participation for this year, and we were concerned that this glitch would erode some of the confidence that had been built up, and that we were going to receive a flood of refusals the next day, and that didn't happen. So we were very happy for that. I did want to say thank you to the community for responding to sort of the plea that we put out this year, and really trying to get the participation up. And whether you agree with Park or not, trying to make meaning out of the amount of time our kids are giving in the classroom, I think is very important. Like I said, whether you believe or stand behind the park or not, the fact that we have such a good participation rate and we can try and get something meaningful out of it next year with the results, I think is very positive. And now to the information. Drum roll? No. So when we began, the day before park testing began, we were at a 3% across the district. And although that was prior to testing, more refusals can come in as it begins. And we currently stand at 6% across the district, which is down from 35%. So, a tremendous gain from last year to this year. Also, not more importantly than participation, but almost equally, we're also hearing great feedback from staff. Last year, we heard some, feedback about students sitting there and tapping through and clicking through, and although their parents didn't refuse for them, they still were not going to take it, and they didn't fill in the some of the answer boxes and that sort of thing. We're not hearing that same feedback. It seems that everyone's giving it the good, doing their best and making the most out of the time they have. So very, very positive start, and hopefully our results will match that. I also just wanted to take a moment. I didn't get a chance to publicly thank Dr. McQuaid for presenting on special services last week, and I did want to bring attention to the fact that her presentation was very in-depth, and it is available on our website under the Special Services tab. So if you missed her presentation and you'd like to see it, the presentation is there in its entirety on our website on the Special Services tab under District. So I just want to bring attention to that, and that concludes my report for tonight.
Quick question for you, Dan.
Yes.
Did we put any kind of guidance in for the refusals, or no?
We did.
There's actually an explanation at the end of the video, which pretty much outlines exactly what's supposed to happen. And so we have not had any negative response from it, other than the few that have opted out, okay, or refused.
And those individuals who we have received refusal letters from, they're treated respectfully with the response and everything, similar to the guidelines that we went through with last year.
Perfect.
What are the children that are doing that instead of the testing that refused?
Depends on the grade level, depends on the building. At the elementary level, because our testing centers are not in their classrooms, those students go back to their classrooms and they're assigned some independent reading or some tasks that are not, they're not moving them ahead of their peers. So they're not doing, content that is meant for the whole class, but they're working on especially independent reading and some of our Readers and Writers Workshop activities. The middle school and high school, because our numbers are a little bit larger, they would be in some common areas, auditoriums, media centers, that sort of thing, with also reading materials and, maybe catch-up work and that sort of thing.
Thank you.
I would like to add also that Dr. McQuaid, with her guidance over at the academy, we've had some disciplinary issues that were very concerning. That's why we have an academy. But one of the things were, the way the students were treating each other, and to combat that, she invited in Dee West, who is a former New York Jets football player, who came in and did a program with the 20 students or so in a roundtable type environment, where he spoke to them about various topics, and just about the overall theme, I believe, was a fresh start. You're here to have a fresh start. You've made some mistakes along the way, so we would like to see that grow within the school district. He's already been in touch with me, and I will share that information with Dr. Anamone, so perhaps he can come into the school district again next year, and of course come to the high school, talk to elementary students as well. So thank you for that as well, Dr. McQuaid. Okay.
Sorry to just keep going, but I just want to also comment on Dwayne West. Not only did he, we're doing Abbott and Costello tonight, right?
Comedy Central.
Right. Not only did he connect to a fresh start, he also connected to the fact that he was a special needs student, and he really brought that across in his presentation to the students, and that, although you are in a special needs program, that you can succeed and become this. He's now a motivational speaker, and some of his beginnings he had trouble speaking. So I think he was able to connect directly to his special needs past and show how that became a source of strength and power in his future life. So it was a real powerful moment.
And the qualitative feedback from the students was that you could hear a pin drop at that time, which for our students, we didn't see a cell phone out. It was focused attention, and the feedback from the students afterwards, I would say probably half the room went up to talk to him after and wanted to, share their story or tell them how what they took away from the message. So I think it was definitely positive, and they gave us the feedback, which showed that it really was beneficial. And I must say, as a speaker, he spent the extra time with us to do that, so that which was nice too. So, yeah, so thanks for supporting it, to everybody.
Barbara, special reports and correspondence?
I'd like to start with the public hearing of the budget.
No, it's over there. He's sitting there.
Try to make it short.
Wow. Oh, I don't need my glasses.
Can it shrink it a little bit?
I still need my glasses.
No? Okay.
Cover your right eye.
All right. This is basically the same presentation that we did on March 15th when we introduced the preliminary budget. Mr. Rashika, Mr. Novak reviewed some of the goals that we're currently working toward and how this budget is going to continue to support those endeavors. We spoke about the budget parameters that we developed when we, it doesn't work. We spoke about the budget parameters that we put into place when we were developing the original budget, and some of the things that we wanted to maintain with, the new wireless that's been implemented in all the buildings, and we have more coverage now. We're finding that more and more supervisors and teachers want Chromebooks to utilize in their classrooms, so we're continuing to purchase Chromebooks. We've have quite a few iPads, but we're also looking to purchase some additional iPads if we're able to start working with Apple again. Mr. Novak and Mr. Rashika talked about some of the new course offerings that the supervisors are recommending and the new curriculums that are going to be written in order to support those courses. We talked about the advanced placement courses that that we currently have, and how each year we're trying to add more advanced placement courses so that the students have more opportunities to get college credit if they do well in the advanced placement classes. And we talked about trying to direct ourselves toward the STEAM initiatives that are so very popular right now. And Mr. Ashika loves to talk about STEM and STEAM, so
Okay, so I can speak from here. I'm happy to say that we are making progress at the middle school at Macapin. We have a dedicated lab now that is just in the final stages of being set up for STEM and STEAM. And it's freshly painted. There's a new floor that went down. We are putting computers into that area as well. And I think I might have mentioned last time that we were able to receive 3D printers. The 3D printers used with AutoCAD and design, which is very important to this program. One of them at least will be put into that lab for use, and that's very, very important. I also want to go back to the Chromebooks as well, because a lot of times people think we're buying Chromebooks, and initially maybe it was the case, being concerned about testing and that everything is online. But certainly now that we have them within the buildings, more and more people are wanting to use them, and the students are very comfortable in using them, so we're building upon that format. One of the issues is, Ms. Francisco mentioned before, is we're having some difficulties doing school purchases with Apple, which we will work on, but that's not to say that the iPads are still not in place. It's just fewer of those and more of the Chromebooks is the direction in which we're headed. So moving with STEM again, looking out to build those partnerships with some of our local universities to have them come into the high school, come into the middle school, and certainly, if possible, work with our young students in the elementary schools as well. So I think that's very, very important, and will bring us up to the 21st century where we need to be.
So one of the important things that we wanted to focus on with this budget was to maintain the programs that we currently have. And that's been a big concern of the Board of Education, because we have been losing student enrollment, but they're also very concerned about property taxes. So it's a balancing act to try to maintain the educational programs, some of the support programs that we put into effect, some of the additional personnel that we've added in order to support students. So we try very hard to maintain those levels of service for the students without being affected by budget reductions. Dr. McQuaid talked about the new initiative for the autism program that we're bringing in-house and expanding, and also about the program that we have at Highlander Academy and how beneficial that's been for the students that are involved in that program. Mr. Rashika just talked about Maple Road School and how they've joined the ranks of a school of character, and that's very exciting for the students, because I know that they're working very hard in order to attain the goals that where they're being recognized for doing something worthwhile and very rewarding. And that's going to carry them through their lifetime. So we talked about some of the budget items that we included in the 2016 budget, but let me direct ourselves to the high school auditorium renovation. We talked about phase one of the high school auditorium renovation, and if I can take it back to when we had the public hearing on the referendum. We talked about if we were successful with getting the roof replaced at the high school, that the auditorium renovation should be something we consider and make it a focal point. And right now, it looks like it's going to stay in the budget. One thing we did remove from the renovation project, though, is the HVAC replacement. I've been assured by our supervisor of buildings and grounds that the current system can be repaired. And so that $400,000 item has been removed, and you'll see how that plays into the reduction in the overall tax levy that we originally proposed. So the Phase 1 auditorium renovations is still there, and hopefully we can make it happen. This is the first two columns are basically what you saw on March 15th. It was a comparison from the 2015 budget and what we were proposing with the preliminary budget. And you can see the bottom line, it was an increase of about $1,070,000. Well, the board directed the administration to not increase taxes. And so we took that very seriously, and we did what we could in order to maintain the same tax levy. So if you look at column 1, 2015-16 tax levy, it was $53,542, $53,542,837. And if you look at the last column, the revised budget, which is being presented tonight, has the exact same number, which brings an increase in the total budget to just about $300,000 or $200,000. So we're basically keeping the same budget that we had in the current school year. The expenditures. I created the same columns. I can talk to you a little about the reductions that we made, other than the $400,000 that we took out for the HVAC at the high school. We reduced some of our costs in transportation. We've cut back on some of the supplies that we were budgeting. We cut back in operations and maintenance, some of the fuel that we were anticipating purchasing. And in a future agenda, you'll have a resolution to do a reverse auction for natural gas, which we hope is going to save us some additional money, so that, we're anticipating based upon the things that we reduced. We also are looking to reduce some of our administrative expenses and our support services. So we're looking to do some consolidations, and what that translated to was an $800,000 reduction, and the balance of the tax levy, the originally proposed tax levy increase, which was $1,070,000, came from an additional fund balance. If you go back to the prior, you can see that originally I proposed using fund balance of $2.9 million. Now, the difference between the $800,000 that we identified in the appropriations and the balance of the tax levy increase is being added by increasing our fund balance revenue. So that's basically how we've been able to achieve a zero tax levy increase. Now, just quickly, I want to give you a bird's eye view of the last 10 years. This is a breakdown of county, municipal, and school taxes over the last 10 years. In 2005, 2006, there was a total levy of $73 million through all three entities. And you can see what percentage each one of those entities costs the total tax levy. And in 2015-16, which is the current year, you can see what it's grown to. And you could also see that the schools, where it used to be 56.4% of the entire county tax rateable, it's now only 53.3% of the county rateable. And if you can look, and at the bottom there's a 10-year tax levy increase, and you can see that over the 10-year period what the difference is between in each entity, and that the county has raised taxes 46.66%, the municipality has raised them 50.41%, and the school district has raised them 31.22%. So I think that that's a snapshot of where your money is going and how it's being distributed. And we will continue to work hard to try to make the budgets as cost effective as we possibly can. And so the bottom line through all of these changes that we've done, and what the zero tax levy increase actually means, is that there's going to be a $7.18 increase on the average assessed home. Now, if I know you're asking, well, if the tax levies are the same, and actually debt service went down from the prior year, why is there a $7.18 increase? It's because the valuations have been reduced. So there's about $5 million less in valuation to spread the tax levy out over. And what that does is you have about a 0.03 of a point that has to be made up, and that's what it comes out to, $7.18. So that's pretty much the public presentation, the most current budget, and the one that's on the agenda for consideration. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them at this time.
Mrs. Francisco, I just have a comment. This is an arduous task, and I think you should be commended for what you did for our community. The county is raising us 1.6%. The municipal tax is going up 2.6%. That's going to burden our taxpayers with 4.2% increase on our homes. And I think the community will be so relieved to know that we're not going to add to this frivolous spending. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I'm glad I was able to sharpen my pencil the way I was directed. Any other questions? Any comments? Any other? Nothing?
I think you left out the most important piece, though. With all of this, with the cuts, looking at that being taken out of the original draft of the budget, I'm happy to report that instructional programs will remain the same. So that's good news. And I can't predict for the future, but I know that next year we should be in a good enough place to maintain what we have, plus implement some of the programs that we saw during the presentation. I spoke a bit. I had the pleasure of being with Dr. Anamone today for about 2 hours almost, and we went through, what some of the concerns are, but certainly looking forward, I think we're, for next school year, at least in a good place, so let's stay there. And thank you, Ms. Francisco.
Thank you.
Need a motion for the minutes?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the following Board of Education meeting minutes from March 1st, March 8th, March 15th, March 22nd, and March 29th.
Second.
Thank you, Terry. All in favor?
Aye.
I need to excuse myself from March 1st. I was not the regular meeting in executive session.
So you're abstaining on that?
Yeah, okay, thank you. That's why I have the next one. I'll be.
Any opposed? Thank you. Legal report, Mr. Roselli.
Since we just met last week and discussed the legal report then, I don't have anything for this time.
Okay. President's report. I want to take the time to thank all the board members who spoke with Barbara to get this budget down to a 0% tax increase. What's important to realize is that we've expanded class offerings. We haven't affected any of the educational programs, and that's key. I don't think I would have supported any cuts to the educational programs, and I'm glad that Mrs. Francisco sharpened her pencil many, many times, I'm sure. And I want to thank Mr. Drew. I know he was hounding you like he always does. So, but I personally want to thank you, Barbara, for a job well done. Two things. Mr. Drew wasn't here, but it's appropriate, Dr. Anamone, that you're here. He sent me an email that he would like me to read out. So here it goes. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Anamone as the new superintendent of the West Milford Public Schools. The public only sees the relatively brief vote for a momentous occasion like this, and I'm sure that they are not aware of the hours and hours and hours and hours spent by mostly all board members to identify a superintendent of Dr. Anamone's caliber. Dr. Anamone has the education, experience, skills, and vision to help our children, administration, and teachers to reach their full potential. I was particularly impressed by Dr. Anamone's ideas and experience to help us improve the culture in the West Milford Township Public Schools, to stamp out the negativity such as bullying and drugs that are crushing the spirit of some of our students. We must put an end to these things. I would much rather be there personally to welcome Dr. Anamone, but I need to finish the course of treatment for my cancer in NYC over the next couple of weeks. The prognosis is good, and I will be back in the saddle in West Milford soon. But this has also given me an opportunity to reflect on what really matters. When I have asked these bright-eyed 20-something new doctors what motivated them to become doctors and cancer researchers, in almost every case, it was some AP biology teacher or an outstanding professor. Good teachers and good education matters, whether these kids want to become doctors, better parents, or better community members. With Dr. Anamone, I believe we're on the right track for the future of West Milford. The train has left the station. I'm on board, and I hope that everyone will get on board with me to help our district succeed. Steve Drew. You've got that? Wait till he gets back. The only other thing that I would like to discuss right now, I received back from New Jersey School Boards Association the review of our policy manual. And I forwarded a copy of that to all the board members before I left, probably around 6 o'clock this evening. I hope everybody would get a chance to read it over the next couple of days. But there were some concerns. We have some 15 missing critical policies, 3 of which are mandated and are monitored. I'm not going to read through the whole report, but there could be better grouping. The manual jumps around. Policies are organized in series that don't include cross-reference to related policies and other sections of the manual. And it's not organized in line with the New Jersey School Board's file code system. There's good news, but I wish that everybody would, over the next week, take a moment. We'll discuss this further in the policy committee and probably make some recommendations to the board within the next couple of meetings. So I thank the board for having the wisdom to move that to New Jersey school boards to be reviewed. That concludes my president's report. We'll move on to petitions and requests. Petitioners who have requested to speak prior to the meeting will be first with 5 minutes for each petitioner for a period of 30 minutes. Then, time permitting, other petitions and requests limited to 5 minutes per petitioner will be allowed until the 30-minute period transpires. Petitioners speaking during petitions and requests are asked to address topics listed in the agenda. All speakers are asked to give their full name, spell their last name, and provide their address. They don't need to give a street, but town residency is fine. Speakers may not use the names of students during petitions and requests. Do we have anybody who would like to speak?
We have Mary Moore from Apshua School who would like to speak.
Mary Moore?
She's
Yes,
in the next
she
section.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
What-
she wants to talk about the budget.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Mary brought more.
I brought a whole lot more.
I like the school spirit. I went to Apshua.
Represent. All righty. Well, ladies and gentlemen of the board, Dr. Rashika, Mr. Novak, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight to you. And after hearing the public presentation of the budget, certainly there's a lot of relief amongst the moms and fathers who are here tonight to represent our school, our incoming third grade class, and these Apshua Hawkeye moms who have come out every single year since they've been in kindergarten to ensure a positive academic environment for their children. We are here to ensure that they are maintained their 3-classroom format that they've had since kindergarten. And after hearing what the budget proposal was during the public speaking, it was very relieving to hear that a lot of what our concerns are regarding keeping this 3-classroom format is going to be maintained, and our concerns are kind of addressed. But I do want to kind of go through what we have prepared and just know our point of view. For those who are not familiar with our class's history, due to our large class size, our children have been afforded the wonderful opportunity to learn in a 3-classroom format since kindergarten. Year after year, we have pled before this Board of Education to maintain this learning structure so that our children could have the best possible environment in which to learn. And fortunately, every year, our pleas were heard. As they move forward towards their 3rd grade year, our class size continues to be large. We are currently at 51 students. We know there are many challenges that await them as they move forward into this 3rd grade year. First off, it's their first year taking the park. Second, they will be expected to work much more independently than ever before. And thirdly, critical thinking comes to the forefront in their studies during this 3rd grade year. To move them from any smaller class size format that they have known since kindergarten to a larger, more congested class size would be detrimental to their academic success. In preparation for this challenging year, they need the attention of their teacher. They need an environment where they will not be forgotten. They need the 3-class format that provides them with the best possible chance to succeed in their studies. Eyes will also be upon this class because they are among the first all Common Core taught students. Their performance will be an example of the curriculum and testing that has been pushed and implemented over the past few years. Let's give them the opportunity to shine. I had all these wonderful facts that the Center of Public Education basically states regarding supporting smaller class sizes, meaning 13 to 17 children per class. I won't bother you with that because it sounds like we're headed in a very similar direction in terms of what we want. But many studies in Tennessee, Wisconsin, California have all supported that having a smaller class size boosts academic achievement on standardized tests. It helps create a more rich learning environment, and on top of that, it's a cumulative benefit because those children that have learned in a smaller class size continue to do better than those who are in larger class sizes or the regular class sizes of 20 or more, all the way to grade 9. It's an ongoing benefit that keeps paying forward. While I understand that taxes are of concern, everybody in this room knows that taxes are of concern for the community. We have to remember that the primary goal of this board is to give the children in our community the best possible education that can be afforded to them. It can be debated for hours on end what can be trimmed from our budgets to bring taxes down. However, our children and their education are never, ever wasteful spending. They are not a waste product to be trimmed. Benjamin Franklin once said, "An investment in knowledge always pays the best interest." Providing the best scenario for academic achievement is in our children's best interest, and that should never, ever be forgotten. We thank you for going through this budget and trimming things that don't affect necessarily our children's direct education. We thank you for taking the time to make sure that that is not impacted.
Our children are headed towards a very challenging year of academics, and to know that this 3 classroom format will continue is very relieving to hear. We want them to maintain this 3 class format as long as their class size remains large, so they can receive the attention and the teaching that they deserve. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank parents, moms, dads for coming and sharing that information and taking the time to be with us this evening. And we're happy about that too, so thank you.
Anybody else like to speak?
Seeing none, I'd like to close petitions and requests.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Well, we're missing a line in here. Oh, no, we're not. I passed over it, never mind.
Wait.
I need a motion to adopt the agenda as presented. No.
Gotcha. Okay. I didn't know we were competing tonight. Nobody told me that. I second it.
The 2 hand carries.
Now, we have some hand carries.
Yes. I can tell you for a couple of changes too. So on the hand carry for personnel, it's hand carry number 2 with numbers 22 through 26. And I also want to point out a couple of changes in personnel going to, starting with number 8, third sentence up from the bottom of that number. It says with health benefits, it says retroactive should read effective. So just replace retroactive as effective. Number 8 on the personnel. Page numbers? No.
Page 11.
Page 11. Okay, thank you. Okay. And so, again, it's going to be retroactive becomes effective, not retroactive. Going over to page 13, on number 15, we are adding a name into that line. Lisa Cisco, school bus, van, and SUV driver, pending transfer of fingerprints. That's number 15 on page 13. And also on that page, number 18, we had a request today to add to our home instructors Miss Ellen Dougherty. So that's an additional of a 4th name on number 18. Ellen Dougherty, Dougherty.
So with those,
All right.
take a
All in
vote.
favor?
Aye.
Well, go ahead, Cody.
I can pick it up later. There's a matter at number 16, number 1.
Page.
Student
Give me
grievance policy.
page.
I don't know.
Are we under personnel still or somewhere else?
No, under policy.
Oh, okay.
Page 14. Okay. Now, what was that one that you?
It's the student grievance policy, which is still under discussion on the policy committee. So we're not really ready to
Go for a reading, correct.
Okay, so we're going to pull
Number 1.
item 1 under policy on page 14.
Tony, you're going to remove that
Yes.
administratively, right?
Administratively, yes.
Okay.
Okay,
Otherwise, we have to do a
we're
motion,
just
but-
tweaking it a little bit.
All right, so that's removed.
That it, one?
Yeah, that's it.
So with those changes, the motion.
All right, now. So, Debbie, you made the motion. Terry did, excuse me, Terry and Debbie. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Mr. Bailey, Mr. Drew isn't here. Would you mind taking over for him for budget and finance, please?
No, thank you.
No? Okay. Marilyn?
Sure. I'd like to move item 1 under budget and finance.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Bailey?
Barb, I'd like to thank you personally for your hard work crafting this budget, echoing the sentiments of the people in attendance and my colleagues on the board. However, I get a little nervous because in all my years here, I've never seen such a thing. But I'm confident that you as a professional administrator, CFO, if you will, in other words, it's an immense operation, and I'm very confident that you're covering all of our concerns educationally and also with an eye towards, the massive facilities that we have here. I see there's ongoing discussions about one of my new favorite topics, which is upgrading the high school football field. Not so much that we want to have a tremendous high school football team, who doesn't, but that is a real showcase event for us, our graduation every year in that setting, on that wonderful field, June evening, etc. The one thing that's lacking are 2016 bleachers, and I think that's something that really needs to be addressed as we go down the road. I've shared these sentiments with you in the past. I know you're working hard on it, and I just want to make sure that we're doing the best we can to provide the best educationally, program-wise, and also make sure our facilities are second to none. Because West Milford's really moving into a position now as one of the top districts in all of Passaic County. And I have a keen eye towards physical plant, et cetera, and I want to make sure that you understand what my charge is, because that's what turns Mr. Bailey on. He likes that stuff, that repaving of the parking lots, et cetera. So, job well done. Look forward to working with you down the future. I'm voting yes. I've always voted yes, but I am nervous about such a minimal increase.
Thanks, Jim. I just want to say thanks to Barbara. There were a lot of discussions. She helped educate me on a number of different things when it comes to finance. I am a fiscal conservative, along with a lot of other people on the board and our taxpayers. I know it's tough for people out there. At the same time, we've maintained the educational direction that we would like to go in and benefit the students of West Milford. So I'm very happy that we've gotten to this point. About a month ago, I said I wouldn't support a rise in an increase in the budget, and that through negotiations we can keep the budget down, which we have. And it was hard work, and hopefully we can fulfill all the things that we're looking to do, and maybe even come out the other side with a little extra money for a capital reserve, but we'll see where that goes. But thanks very much.
Capital reserve?
Yeah, capital reserve in the end, right?
I'm going
For-
to hold you to that one.
Maybe, maybe.
Barbara, I tried to leave you alone on this, because I knew it was in good hands with the Budget Committee and you. I was confident you and the Budget Committee could do this. I have one question, though. I really am concerned with making sure we set up Dr. Enamone for complete success. And I'd like to just ask and confirm that there is money in our budget for him to be able to get an HR person this year.
No, that was never part of any discussion. That was never part of any discussion. I've never heard that question, comment, and it's never come up.
We've spoken about it, but we never pushed for it. So.
No.
Never heard about it.
Yeah, we've spoken about it a few times.
It's come up.
Okay.
So what's your vote? No, I'm just asking him what he's voting for.
We're not voting yet.
Oh.
Any other comments? Okay.
Clarifying something with Matthew. Mr. Bailey has his hand raised.
Terrible. No, he doesn't. Our president, no, our president can tell when the hand's raised, or
Oh,
when he's
okay.
reading something.
I'm sorry, I had
Mind your own business down here. You got
I had my own glasses
Yeah.
on, I couldn't see.
Someday you'll be a president, you can
No,
recognize
thank
Mr.
you.
Bailey.
All right, seeing no further discussion, roll call, please, Barbara?
Mrs. Schultz?
Yes.
Mr. Robbins?
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Huber?
With the note that I'll be looking to find that money, yes.
Mr. Dever?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Foodie?
Yes.
Budget and Finance, I'd like to move items 2 through 11.
Second.
Excuse me for a minute.
Any discussion?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Number 3. Is this the total transportation cost for a 3-month period?
Number 3. Oh, wait a minute. I'm looking at number 4. Right.
It's
Yes.
from March, right. It's from March through June.
Yes.
That seems like a lot for 3 months, for one child.
This is a student that, as you can see at the location of where the student is at the Children's Therapy Center,
Right.
has intensive needs. So it's not the typical type of transportation. In the IEP process, sometimes there's specialized transportation. This is a child that has significant needs. That's all I can say at this point.
Ambulatory, sort of?
I can't really get into that,
Okay.
but I'll just say that the profile of students that go attend the Children's Therapy Center typically have disabilities that are quite involved.
And just for clarification, we have opportunities to track these costs and try to recoup some of them through extraordinary aid application.
Great.
Dr. McQuaid, I have one question. On item 8, we're doing the bus evacuation drills. And this evening, I didn't realize we had a New Beginnings program at Apshua. And I knew we had one at Macapan, but I don't need to know, how many kids are in these programs at the different schools, roughly?
I don't have the numbers, to be honest with you. I could actually look them up right now in the budget book and then be able to answer you better, but I know.
I'm not going to hold you to it.
I would say probably at least 40.
40 is going to be like my rough estimate
In all?
across all of our annex
Okay.
programs, preschool to grade 6.
Okay.
Apshua does have 1 classroom, and Maple Road currently has the 4, and
Yep.
Macapan currently has 1.
Has one. Okay.
Right.
All right, I thought that was good.
Yeah, Apshua started about 4 years ago.
I think like 3 years ago.
Yeah, it started a few years back, and it was a transition type program for students that needed a little bit, there wasn't enough room at Maple Road School.
Because by code, those classrooms, if they're coded as an autism class, can only have 6 students. So it limits them, where if the numbers go up higher than that, they have to either change the program type to a multiple disabilities class or expand their program.
Okay.
So, and we anticipate that in the future, we would still keep the Apshua location and the Maple Road.
Okay.
I'm working on one.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please. Barbara?
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mrs. Schultz?
Yes.
Mr. Huber?
Yes?
Mr. Robbins?
Yes.
Mr. Dever?
Yes.
Mr. Foodie?
Yes.
I'd like to move item number 12 under Budget and Finance.
Second.
Discussion.
I have some questions, but not a lot, because I asked Barbara before, so I don't have a lot, but I have some. There is, now, let me just make sure I have my notes. On page 11, administrative activity books, what is that? Dan. $263.40. It's on page.
She's talking on the bill.
The
It's
bill.
11 on the bill list.
Dig it out to you. It's something that was bought at the high school. I'm not quite sure what it is. What page was that, Terry?
11.
Page 11.
Not in the agenda, it's in our reports.
The Covey, Franklin Covey. That's the book that's going to be used for one of the backdrops of freshman seminar. That's the habits of highly successful teens.
Okay, and thank you. And then I have another question on page 28. $108.95, $287.73, and $750 for Inserra Supermarkets and a speaker for Highlander Academy. Dr. McQuaid, what is that?
I believe the speaker was the speaker that we just talked about, but I could
Oh,
reference the
okay.
bill.
It's not like, I'm thinking a physical speaker, so that's
No,
good.
no.
You know, Mr. Bailey is right, I might be off my rocker. And then, the food.
This one.
Why are there food expenses there?
Well, two things. First, to answer you about the speaker, yes, it is for that professional development speaker that we talked about. The other thing, as far as the food, as we talked about once of Highlander Academy being a real individualized program, and the students there on behavior modification systems and programs and their IEPs, BIPs we call them, behavior intervention plans, they have incentive-based programs that they earn points. If you go into any kind of private therapeutic day school type programs, they have incentives and points, they earn it, and then it's not necessarily just food, frivolous food, it's more of they either earn a breakfast time with a peer, things like that that are then during a certain social time in the first 15 minutes when they first arrive. That's a non-academic time. So it keeps them motivated, and it keeps them to do their academic work, and they earn the points throughout the entire day. Each student has an individualized plan, but at times, for some students, there are some reward systems that are built into their IEP, food-related. For other students, it might be, just being able to have like a period in a different room to be able to work independently. Just depends on the student.
And then finally, on pages 38 and 39, Pomptonian, $176,402.28. How much profit did we see from that food service company?
We see, I don't have the audit in front of me, but we do get a profit from the company, and that offsets our costs for the personnel that we still have.
Okay. And then on page 40, there's another Pomptonian fee for $2,700.70.
Well, they have a significant amount, they send us their bills. We have to reimburse Pomptonian for all the expenses that go along with the food service, because it's our food service, it's not theirs. So any expenses that we have, it's the same as if we were running it on our own. Every expense that we have would have to be paid out by our budget. Pomptonian is running it for us, and they get a management fee for doing that, but their management fee is somewhere around $60,000, which would be less than us hiring our own manager.
Okay, thank you.
And Mr. Foodie, just to follow up on the other question, it's approximately 30 students that are in our annex programs, and then there's about 10 that are down in the Fairfield campus. Okay, that's probably why we're both thinking 45.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion on item 12? Barbara, roll call, please.
Mrs. Schultz?
Yes.
Mr. Robbins?
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer?
No.
Mrs. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Huber?
No.
Mr. Dever?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Foodie?
I'm going to say yes on payroll. I didn't get to fully review the bill list, so no on bills. Still passes. Number 13?
I'd like to move item number 13.
Second.
Discussion.
I have some questions on the transfers. The cost of writing curriculum, $4,080. Why? Oh, no, forget that. We asked, she answered that. I'm sorry. All right, wrong area. $6,210 from guidance to students' regular account for 60 TI calculators for the park testing. When I went onto park.org, the site answered questions about the needs for calculators, and it also was written that one is provided online, and that if students wanted to use their own calculators, it would be the administration's responsibility to see that they were cleared. Why do we need so many more calculators if it's available to us online?
We found that the tool used through the park system, through the test nav, was very difficult to see. So that was a decision made by our testing coordinator that I supported to make sure that our kids all had adequate tool for the process.
Okay, and
It was very small.
was it?
Yeah.
It couldn't be enlarged.
It couldn't, not with the typical tools that most of our students have, unless they had it in their PNP that they were able to do that. They couldn't. So we decided to go ahead and do that for the classes that need it. That was just for the Algebra 2, I believe.
Okay, and finally, Mr. Novak, this is one for you. We saw the testing coordinator come in, or you showed us the park ranger shirt, and now I see a transfer for student T-shirts. I'd like to know how those students were selected to receive those shirts.
You've stumped me.
The park ranger shirts. It
I
says on
don't
the transfer,
know
students.
exactly how the particular students were selected, so I can follow up on that and find out.
Okay, I'm just curious. That's it, I'm done.
Yeah, it might be, I don't know.
One transfer, Barbara, is all salaries, basically.
You're going to see more of them.
We have to basically do because of their contracts.
Well, sometimes what happens is, people move from one program to another, and so the salaries are budgeted in one line and they have to be transferred. Also, it could be because we have some additional costs in a budget line and less costs, so we have to just balance out the accounts. And there'll be more as we get closer to the end of the year.
Mr. Dever?
I'm going to vote yes for this, but I just want to say we can see how costly Park becomes with all the additive stuff that you need just to get a better score. It sounds like if we had the calculators, of course, we're going to be able to do it quicker and more efficient, therefore a better score. Everybody out there knows how I feel about Park, and I just want to point out how costly Park is here for New Jersey.
Mr. Dever? Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please. Barbara?
Mr. Dever?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mrs. Schultz?
Yes.
Mr. Huber?
Yes.
Mr. Robbins?
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer?
No.
Mr. Foodie?
I'm going to abstain on this. But it passes.
I'd like to move item 14 under Budget and Finance.
Second.
About 15.
About 15.
What about 15?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, okay, 14 and 15.
Hold on.
And I'll second that, too.
Thank you.
Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please. Ms. Francisco?
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Huber?
Yes.
Mr. Robbins?
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Abstain.
Mr. Dever?
Yes.
Mrs. Schultz?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Foodie?
Yes.
I'd like to move item 16 under Budget and Finance.
Second.
Discussion. Barbara, would you mind giving a quick explanation to the board about this? Or would you like me to?
No, I can do
Okay.
it. The auditorium renovation, all of the we have to send all the plans and specifications down to the state of New Jersey in order for them to be approved. Whenever we do a major construction project at the schools, it has to be, it amends our long-range facility plan. The architect, this is the same architect that did the renovations of our science classrooms last year, and there's many different components. There was quite a list, and as you saw from the budget presentation, we're only addressing phase one. But what they are recommending that we do the entire, whatever could possibly be repaired. So although we don't believe that the HVAC needs to be replaced, that's also going to be included in the plans that have to be approved by the state of New Jersey. This way, if we have to do anything in the future, everything has already been approved, and we don't have to be held up by that red tape. It's a process that takes probably 60 to 90 days from completion. So if I give them the okay, then they have to provide the application. They have to provide all the details. The state has 60 days in order to approve everything, and then at that point, they have to prepare the specifications and the bid documents so that we can go out to bid to have the renovation done. We're hoping to have it done so that by spring, everything is on board. So it's going to take some time.
How long will the plans and DOE approvals be good?
Once they're approved, it's okay. I mean, there's no expiration date.
As long as we don't change them.
It's indefinite.
Right, as long as we don't change the plans.
No
it's
expiration date.
Because
If it was tied to a ROD grant, then you had an expiration date. But this is not tied to a ROD grant, so there's no expiration date.
Okay, great.
as soon as it's on our long-range facilities plan as a project, it's been approved, we're good to go.
Yeah.
Okay, any other discussion or questions? A roll call, please, Barbara?
Mr. Huber?
Yes.
Mr. Robbins?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mrs. Schultz?
Yes.
Mr. Dever?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Foodie?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I'm very excited, ladies. Very excited.
Mrs. O'Brien.
That's my turn. I'd like to make a motion to items 1 through 21. I know I have hand carried both, so that's separately under personnel student affairs.
Also, everyone be aware that we have a change on 8, the addition of Lisa on 15 and Ellen on 18. And then we've got the hand carries, which we'll do separately. Any discussion? None? Roll call, please, Barbara.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Dever?
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Huber?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Robbins?
Yes.
Mrs. Schultz?
Yes.
Mr. Foodie?
Yes.
I'd like to move items 22 to 26 under personnel student affairs.
Second.
Um, 25 and 26. See where she's retiring at July 1st?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Any other discussion? Roll call, please, Barbara.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mrs. Schultz?
Yes.
Mr. Huber?
Yes.
Mr. Robbins?
Yes.
Mr. Dever?
Yes.
Mr. Foodie?
Yes.
That concludes personnel student affairs.
Mr. Dever, policy.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the following agenda items, items 2 and 3, because we are tabling item 1.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please, Barbara.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mrs. Schultz?
Yes.
Mr. Huber?
Yes.
Mr. Robbins?
Yes.
Mr. Dever?
Yes.
Mr. Foodie?
Yes. All right, Mrs. Dwyer.
Okay, I'd like to move items 1 through 17 for approval.
Second.
Number 7.
1 through 7.
1 through 7. What did I say?
17.
Oh, I'm sorry, 1 through 7. Okay.
Read this all, please?
It's my handwriting.
One.
I somehow missed the attached list of field trip locations.
Boy,
That was a while
Anybody
ago.
have them?
that's a long list.
That's a very big list.
Yeah.
It might not be up on the website anymore.
We can get a hard copy if we
Yeah.
put a second out. You know, we can forward one. to you.
That's fine. That's fine.
We'll get you a copy. That's done.
I can have mine.
He has one, Mr. Novak has one in the binder that you would, a little present for you.
For a small fee.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Okay, any discussion on items 1 through 7 in education? Seeing none? Roll call, please, Barbara.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Huber?
Yes.
Mr. Robbins?
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Dever?
Yes.
Mrs. Schultz?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Foodie?
Yes. Negotiations. I'd like to make a motion for the following resolution, that the West Milford Board of Education approves the memorandum of agreement with the West Milford Affiliated Board.
Second.
Period.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay, from July 1st, 2015 to 2018. Now I'll take your second.
Second.
Mr. Bailey. Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Huber?
Yes.
Mr. Robbins?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Dever?
Yes.
Mrs. Schultz?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Foodie?
Abstain. Okay, special committees and liaison reports. Parks and Recreation.
Yes, last Thursday evening, both Jim and I went to the Park and Recreation meeting. However, they didn't have a quorum to actually have the official meeting, and we got into a discussion about fields. Now, Jim, maybe you can step in here. You had visited, all our fields and are very familiar with them. So we pretty much talked about what the school can help improve the fields. So there was a list of things that we're going to be talking about, I think, in budget and finance, about fencing and some infield conditions that need to be improved, and that makes it safer for the kids that are playing on these fields. So you may want to add to that.
I'll chime in. The Parks and Rec director said that he could, not all fields, but he'd do what he can to supply the labor if we supplied the new clay sand mix for the infields at the elementary schools. There's quite a few fields that have more of a gravel, I guess, material, like a heavy sand versus, with pebbles in it versus a clay soil. And he said that he would be able to get into some, I think Apshua was a field, it was either Apshua or Maple Grove, I'm pretty sure it was Apshua. He said there was a section of the field up there that didn't have any grass growing on it. He'd like to test it, see what that needs, fertilize it, maybe bring up some topsoil, do whatever he can. As start getting the fields in tip-top shape. So we had a brief discussion with Barbara, and, you know, she's going to reach out to Tim. They're going to do a presentation to the board on the 11th, since we changed the 17th.
Right, I have to reach out to them.
So, yeah, I think I told them to reach out to you, but they would do, the rec advisory committee is going to do a little PowerPoint presentation and tell us about the conditions of the fields. And there, I also had asked them to bring Barbara a list of things that those fields need, whether it's sand and dirt, trimming trees, you know, all that kind of jazz. And Mr. Rotman also said that since we don't have irrigation, when I pointed that out to him, that they have a 500-gallon tank that they were using for a brine solution for the DPW, and he could utilize that to water those areas of the field during the summer months so that we could get some good grass growing and those fields really be brought up to top shape. They pretty much looked like the way they did when my son was playing Little League, you know, 15 years ago. So it would be nice to see, you know, the fields brought up in a better condition. I'm sure the kids will like it, and from the gym teachers to the kids who were playing baseball and soccer and all that, they'll enjoy that. So I'm glad that we can, with the Parks and Rec Department's help, since we're short-handed, be able to get some of these fields in a little bit better shape. So that's about it, and they'll be doing a presentation on the 11th, so that'll be a good thing. Mr. Bailey.
Tremendous. However, of course, West Milford is one of the few places around where the majority of the town-run programs, Little League, etc., utilize Board of Education facilities, which is great, and I'm all in, and have been in for many, many years. My point is, they would be better advised, and it would be money and energy better spent if they began to look at options, parkland, fields, etc., owned and operated by the township, like they have in every other town we drive through going back and forth to work every day. And although this all sounds good about grass, I don't know about watering fields with salt water and a tank. I know it's going to be flushed out, but this talk about field maintenance and grass growing could all be put in our rearview mirror if the town were to step up to the plate, develop a facility, and it's 2016, not too many places plant grass anymore. They use my favorite material. And if you think I'm wrong, go drive through Hudson County or down into Lower Bergen County, where they're putting these fields in just about every mile you go. So it's great. I'm all for it. I'll be right there working with these people as I have in the past. But I think it's energy misdirected, and I would love to see the day where we all pull up to Veterans Memorial Field, owned, operated, maintained, and run by the Township of West Milford. And I hold out hope, because I see the library going up. After many, many years, finally West Milford's getting a library. Why can't we get an athletic/community complex that the town runs, and then we can have our facilities for our own use? That's the end of my 2016 address on fields in West Milford.
All right, we're past 9 o'clock, we're 5 after 9, so I'd like to make a motion to extend our meeting until 9:20.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Ms. O'Brien.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're on to, what? Go ahead.
It'll only take me a second. I have to agree with Mr. Bailey. We've discussed this before. I'd love to see West Milford have a community center, sports community center, like a lot of other towns have, that will draw people in and also have all our teams flourish, and a place where kids can go and be proud of West Milford, a place that'll showcase the town. So, thanks, Mr. Bailey.
Mr. Bailey, safety.
Nothing to report.
Thank you. Maryland, Superintendent's Roundtable.
Nothing to report.
Maryland Passaic County School Boards Association.
Last night there was a Passaic County School Board's meeting at the Brownstone. In attendance was Mrs. O'Brien, Mr. Foodie, and myself. School board members were honored for their years of service. Mr. Greg Bailey was honored 20 years of service, volunteer school board member. So congratulations to him. In addition, the focus of the program was effectively communicating with our legislators. The program was designed to emphasize the unique position of board members in effectively advocating for policies that will improve public education. Several legislators from Passaic County were in attendance, although our legislator was not. But it was a good meeting. They handed out other papers on upcoming conferences and workshops, and I believe we also have an email with those dates from New Jersey School Boards. That's all I have to report.
I would just like to chime in with what Marilyn said, that we should all try to contact, I mean, Mr. Bailey, when we talk about having a sports complex where Highlands restricted, we need a big section of land that we could do something like that on, and the Highlands really kills us. So it would behoove us to write our legislators and senators and let them know our feelings. So I have nothing to report on New Jersey school boards.
Mrs. O'Brien has her hand up.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, can I chime in about last night as well?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. West Milford is in a very unique position. We're in the 26th district. Our representatives represent West Milford, and we're the only Passaic town. The two counties that our representatives represent are Morris County and Essex County. We were told last night that if our representatives were going to be at the Morris County dinner, they would have invited us. They did not come. Just wanted to bring that out.
And then Morris County dinner, I think it was on that, Ray had said that, it was like May.
It had
Already taken place.
It had already taken place.
Yeah, so they would have let us know.
I thought it was.
No, there is another one, but,
We thought it was May 19th.
yeah, I spoke to Ray last night, so,
Okay, all right,
yeah.
thank you.
You're welcome.
I had nothing to report New Jersey school boards. Mr. Drew is out, and he didn't email me his report. So we go to West Milford Education Foundation.
With
Mrs.
yours
O'Brien.
truly. Okay. Right, announced last month that our color run is going to take place Sunday, September 18th. Place will be in West Milford. We'll give you more information as the time comes. We've posted it on our Facebook page. We already have a website to register. Yours truly registered. Don't know where I'll be, but I registered. I also wanted to bring to the community's attention and the board's attention why we're doing this. We have new board members now, and we decided to do something that is fresh. We wanted to make it family-oriented. We want families to come out, and we wanted to bring the community, have a community involvement. And this is why we're doing the color run. So, we will give more information as time comes. If you're willing to and interested in volunteering, supporting our teachers and our organization, please let us know. We don't know when our next meeting is, correct? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot,
No,
ladies.
it's okay. Harry and I are going to put some dates together, and we will email the whole.
Okay, then it'll be on our Facebook page and stuff like
Yes.
that. So I will keep you posted.
You can also
and-
volunteer right through the website.
Excuse me?
You can also volunteer right through the website.
Can volunteer right through the website as well.
What's the
Beautiful.
date of that, Mrs. O'Brien?
Sunday, September 18th. I hope to see all of you there. I know where you sit at the table.
What is a color run?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked.
I have no idea.
Oh, my gosh, I apologize.
Walk,
See,
run, whatever you want.
This is what happens, and forgive me, cameraman over there, I apologize. The best way is that you run and you get colorized. You get pounded with color.
Oh.
You can walk.
And you can walk?
The company provides you with white T-shirts. It will color the T-shirts. You can wash them. The color will stay. There's going to be a DJ. We already have over 370-ish people interested and over 70 registered already. It is going to be a huge event for the community to come together as a whole to raise money for the Education Foundation, which will filter right back into our school systems.
On the website, we have, the cost is based on how many people are coming and of the ages that are going to be attending. So, of course, the little wee ones.
I would love to see a Board of Education team run out.
Yes.
That'd be awesome.
Well, I already signed up.
You can be the leader of the run.
Only if I could run.
You can walk, run, you can crawl.
You can sashay. I mean,
No, that's okay.
we can do tutu. We can tutus.
rascals, Jim.
Okay. So that's what's going on with the West Milford Education Foundation. Again, to our educational community, start preparing and thinking about what kind of grants you're interested in, because we're going to ask you to start submitting your applications in June.
Okay.
That's it.
Board of Ed Joint Committee, Mr. Dever.
We're currently looking for dates to set aside for a meeting.
Okay.
Other than that,
All righty.
none.
Move on to old business. Anything under old business?
Seeing none, like to close old business.
Okay.
Second.
Thank you, Debbie and Marilyn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, new business.
I would just like to bring to the attention of the board that on Friday, June 3rd at 8 a.m., the valedictorian salutatorian breakfast will be sponsored by the Passaic County Education Association at the Brownstone at 8 a.m., and I would like to have at least 2 to 3 board members join us as we honor our 2 top students from the high school prior to graduation, so just let me know if you're available.
Can you give me the dates?
It's Friday, June 3rd at 8 a.m. Thank you, Mr. Foodie.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, so they'll be there. That's what, their valedictorian, salutatorian will be there. I can, and also wanted to recognize one more time, we mentioned about Mr. Bailey before. I did give him a certificate, but last night was his night. Unfortunately, he couldn't attend, but congratulations, 20 years is a long time. Happy about that. And also, I am very happy to hear about the Education Foundation and the big steps that are going forward. I remember we finally got together last year after the program sat dormant for about a year, and some wonderful things have happened, and the teachers and many other people have reaped the rewards of the foundation, and it sounds like you're working in a wonderful collaborative fashion, and lots of things are getting done. So congratulations to everybody involved with that.
And pardon the pun, big steps.
Big
Okay.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Marilyn.
Did any of the board members fill out that survey with regard to education foundations? I did.
When did we get it?
It came in our email from New Jersey School Boards.
I don't understand it.
It was part of their little updates on what's going on.
Oh, okay.
Volume whatever,
Oh,
weekly or whatever, and in
okay.
there was a survey on Education Foundation, so I submitted information, and they do have grant writers and workshops on things like that. So I had asked for maybe some information from the Jersey School Boards on that.
Okay.
See if it could help.
I'll have to check that at home then.
Thank you.
Also, I forgot to mention in the President's report, the softball game was to be held June 11th for the
Relay for Life?
Relay for Life. They asked us to move it to June 4th, the town. They're going to do like a fundraiser thing just for the game. Does that work for everybody, I hope?
I have to look at my calendar, I don't know offhand. I'll take a look.
Okay.
So it's not going to be during Relay for Life?
It's not, they've changed it. I got the message from Maryland that they want to make it like a separate kind of fundraiser for Relay for Life. So they want to do it on the 4th.
Yeah.
If anybody can check, just get back to me within the next day or two. I'll send an email out reminding.
Okay.
You were going to say something? Len?
Yeah, I had a memory delay under old business. Last week, we talked about finding storage for the theater and the band, and you were going to think about it and talk to us about it this week.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't have time to get the information from Mr. Gorski.
Yeah, we
has
have
some information. Do you have any other?
They have found storage information, and there's two storage units which we are going to rent until we can find a better location. So, actually, it's going to be effective May 1st that they're going to rent these storage units. So they'll put them in storage until we can come up with another solution.
I'm just curious to know, too, we spoke about Phase 1 with the auditorium, and I don't know if that still includes opening those sides up, because that would certainly be another area that we can use free of cost. So,
Well, that's a
if that comes
discussion
out.
that we could have with
Okay.
the architect.
All right, so,
Because he's going to have to include everything in the plans.
yeah. So we were looking at that to be right in the school itself, so hopefully we can get enough equipment in that spot to help out. Okay.
Any other new business? No? Seeing none?
I'd like to close new business.
Second. None? Petitioner and, what? Yeah, all in favor, I'm sorry.
Aye.
Petitions and requests. Petitioners have requested to speak prior to the meeting will be first with 5 minutes for each petitioner for a period of 30 minutes, and then time permitting, other petitioner requests limited to 5 minutes per petitioner will be allowed until the 30-minute period transpires. All speakers are asked to give their full names, their last name, not their street address, but their town. Speakers may not use the names of students during petitions and requests. We had Mary Moore here, but she spoke already. What's that? Will?
Will Sideward, 694 Lakeshore Drive. First, congratulations on the 0% increase. I can't imagine how much hard work was put into that, and I think that a lot of work came from, I'm sure, everybody's opinions, and I hope that it does show the township that we can move in the right direction and also at the same time take whatever somebody thought was waste and prove that you can move forward from that. Congratulations to the chosen superintendent, Dr. Anemone. How would you say that? I have a last name problem too. They can't pronounce mine. So congratulations to you. I want to get to a topic that was discussed several months ago about a top 10 priority list that Mr. Robbins brought up. I think that it's something that would be such a useful tool to any board member, any upcoming superintendents, or any other person that's interested in helping the township. And I also agree with the point that Mr. Bailey had with not stepping on the toes of professionals. I think that a balance could be met, and I'd like to see something like that in the future, and hopefully that gets brought up in future discussions. Thank you.
Thank you, Will. Anybody else like to speak?
Seeing none, like to close petitions and requests.
Thank you, Marilyn. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, executive session. Jamie, you read the,
At 9:21 p.m., I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing personnel, negotiations, and matters of attorney-client privilege.
Second.
Debbie, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, executive session. Nine 58, we return from executive session, and I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the meeting is officially
Mission
adjourned.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
At 1 minute to 10.
You can actually have dinner.
Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.